morning. Happy New Year, everyone. I am so psyched to be here in 2023. I never really thought about it until now that we were going to be in 2023. So I'm super, super pumped. Let me just kind of switch over to comments. This is the first weekly energy report of 2023, and I'm streaming for the first time into LinkedIn, which I don't spend a lot of time on. So I know I keep, getting emails from people that are like, hey, do you want to increase your LinkedIn presence? And I don't know you. So don't send me emails like that on the messenger and the LinkedIn because just FYI, your like no trust value is not really high with me. So please don't message me trying to sell me crap in LinkedIn. But if you are one of my peeps in LinkedIn, hi, how are you? I am so psyched to see you. I don't know if I'm even live in there. I guess I should look really quick. Let's see. LinkedIn, and then we'll make sure I'm live in Facebook. I am like the queen of all media this morning, and I'm super, super pumped to see you there because I think I'm streaming live to YouTube. Can I speak this morning? Blah, blah. I tried new lipstick. Isn't that awesome? I went to Ulta and I thought, new year, I'm going to buy some lipstick so that I don't look just like I woke up. Even though sometimes I did just wake up, but it's okay. So anyway, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so psyched you're here. If you are here and watching live, I would love for you to say hello in the comments. If you're watching the replay, just come on and do hashtag replay. Love to hear from you. Let's see. I have my little notes here, just like, on Dave Letterman or whoever you watch at night, Seth Meyer. I have my blue card so that I can remember what I'm supposed to be doing and talking about. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the weekly energy report for the week of January 2nd. Good morning, Sharon. I'm here having either lunch with you or maybe your morning coffee or your morning water break. So excited to see you. I'm so glad that you're joining me. If you don't know me and you're new to this or you're new to my channel or new to my videos, I am Soul Coach Michele Stans. I am someone who is a co-creative life coach and your friendly neighborhood superwoo. So I'm a 4th generation intuitive medium. If you are on LinkedIn and you are part of my legal fam and you didn't know that, well, here I am. This is what I've been doing for the last 6 years. And by the way, this is my today. No, yesterday was the first, right? Yeah. So yesterday was my 6-year anniversary working full-time in my business. So whoa, I'm super psyched about that. Probably will post on social media about that later. But super excited. January is a lot of anniversaries, you guys, lots. I moved to Nashville from New York in January, and I want to say 97. Darren and I got together in January. We figured it out yesterday, 16 years ago. Oh my Lord. So we've been together 16 years anniversary. And then I guess the Monday after New Year's, which would be today, whatever that date was, back in 2018, was my first year full time in my business. Other than that, I had started working. I've been doing readings and stuff my whole life, but being officially given the title of Certified Holistic Life Coach in 2016 or 17, I can't remember. But anyways, but been a practicing conscious channel for, I don't even want to tell you how many decades, because it's then all that eye cream and hair color will just give away my age. So anyways, welcome, welcome, welcome. We got a huge week this week. Lots of stuff going on. Also want to share this on my page because I feel like it's not there. Oh, no, there it is. I'm live on my page. So if you are just joining me again, Soul Coach Michele, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are on my YouTube channel, or if you are not on the YouTube, you're on LinkedIn and you're watching me, go to YouTube, Soul Coach Michele. I think the @ sign you can do @ now. So @ Soul Coach Studio, and just make sure you subscribe and like and hit the bell and all the things. So I think I got that covered. Let's see. And announcements, I'll get to that in a minute. But okay, so we have a class coming up, my first class of the new year, which will be the Reconnect, Align, Manifest workshop, which Sharon, I think you are already signed up for, and I sent you an email, and I will be sending out everyone who has already registered an email with the links to your workbook pages in the next week. But there's still time because it's on January 14th, which is a Saturday, 11 o'clock a.m. on this Saturday, the 14th, on Zoom. So wherever you are in the world, so I have folks in the UK. If you want to join, it's probably around dinner time for you. So you can bring just, manja, manja, manja if you want to do your stuff. But anyways, it's $20, 23 cents. Totally doable. And you get to reconnect with your inner being, align with your soul purpose. And then that way it naturally flows into the manifesting of your intentions because you're really clear on what they are and you're matching them up to your values, which case studies have shown, because there are case studies on the woo woo, case studies have shown that if you are aligned with your core values, you manifest better. So we're going to be doing that on the 14th. We're going to have a whole workshop about that. So if you want to, there's a link in the blurby thing, whether you're on YouTube, LinkedIn, or wherever you are. Oh, good, Sharon. Good. I'm glad you got that. For you to sign up, and I would love to see you there. And if you can't make it, you can get all the workbook pages, and I'm going to be recording it, and I will be putting it on my new website. Oh my God, new website, which will be where Soul Coach On Demand will be housed, actually. So you'll have the replay access there too. So anyways, let's get down to business. Get down to business. Cosmic week. We got lots of stuff going on. We have New Year energy in the Capricorn house, which is like, I want to get some shit done. I want to do all the things. I have these big dreams. And then we have Mars retrograde and Mercury retrograde, which goes, oh my God, I'm second guessing all my stuff. I feel like I'm not getting anywhere. I am so overwhelmed. What the F, right? So we have that going on. There's all this stuff going on, and those two energies end more like in a week or like 2 weeks. Let me get to my calendar really quick so I can look and tell you exactly. So on the 12th of this month, which is a week from this coming Thursday, on the 12th, we have Mars going direct. Thank you, action moving forward. Then on the 18th, which is 2 weeks from Wednesday, we have Mercury going direct finally. I know Mercury can be, I don't know about y'all, but this time around, my Mercury technology has been just like cuckoo. So I hope that that stuff kind of starts to work itself out. And that's why I planned the workshop on the 14th, because it's right smack in between doing Mars going direct and Mercury going direct. So you are well prepared because you got, what is it? Jupiter. Oh, I can't remember. I think Jupiter is doing something. It went into something, and I can't remember off the top of my head, but that's a ready, set, go kind of thing in addition to the Capricorn. And then we get into Aquarius, which everything feels good and community oriented and hanging out, and we're going to do groups and it's going to be great. So anyway, getting prepped for that takeoff come like say I think our new moon is in January is on the 21st. So the Saturday before the new moon, you get your clarity, you get all your stuff, and off you go. So just kind of getting all that stuff sorted out can help you figure out. Sometimes, like in Marguerite, I love you. Hey, how are you? You know this, you call it by name and it doesn't have power over you no more, right? So if we are looking, the best sign of them all, Aquarius, right? Birthday. So when we kind of call all this by name, this whole like, I see you Mars retrograde, I see you Mercury retrograde, because it can be really frustrating when you are trying to get things done because it's the new year. I want to get things done, but everything's like, hold up, buckaroo. You are moving a little too fast. So, like, I have all these ideas and plans. Nothing is solidified. Like last night, I had a dream about my new logo, which I didn't even know I was supposed to have a new logo. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But whatever happens is I feel like there are a lot of ideas, and the frustration is coming from the fact that it's New Year and we are trying to, as per previous years, previous versions of ourselves, this is the time where you're like, okay, let's start that new diet. Let's look, if we're going to change jobs, this might be when I start really looking hard instead of soft looking. If I'm going to start a business, it's when it's launching. I mean, like I told you, 6 years as of January 1st. I timed it New Year's stuff too. But the fact is that because of these two retrogrades, you have that kind of like, first of all, Mars retrograde is, I want to take action, but I'm frustrated I can't. And Mercury retrograde is, I want to see action, but I don't know how, because there's a mind muddle there. Because remember, retrograde means internal. We're focusing here, not here. So the action has to take place, and how I take that action has to take place, which is Mars, Mercury, inside. So we have to remember, when we talk about manifesting, The let go part that everybody seems to have trouble with, including me. I am not immune. I am a human being. Yes, I love all of my spiritual stuff and my spirit team and all that kind of thing, but I'm human. And yeah, sometimes I get focused on shit, 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 shit. I don't have all the things. I don't have all the things. Like right now, Darren and I are making some serious life decisions about some stuff. And we know what we don't want, which is always a good starting place if you can't figure out what you do want. But the fact is that we don't know what we want. So that's the energy right now. And instead of trying to be like, I really wish I could figure out what I want, and focusing on the fact that you are rather focusing on the fact of the absence of that idea of what you want, or the muddledness of the idea of what you want, or you have so many choices it's overwhelming because you can't really nail down what I want and how I want to deal with it. What I'm encouraging you to do is go inside. Use this last 2 weeks of retrograde because, like, next week we have Mars turning direct. The following week we have Mercury going direct. And you have all this other launch energy coming in behind it being set free around that, like, new moon, which is about, I think it's 3 weeks from Saturday. So 3 on the 21st. So before we get to that new moon, we have to learn. The invitation here is learning to let go of the absence of knowing exactly where I'm going. And when you throw in that Cancer full moon at the end of the week, because we got a full moon coming, stuff don't stop just because it's New Year. So we got a full moon at the end of the week in Cancer, which is all the feels. So whenever I see an all the feels water sign, I go back to, okay, what part of the manifesting process is that? That is the initial, like, how am I feeling? Because we tend to have an idea of thought process. We tend to go and try to think our way out of a problem or a situation that needs to be felt into. Because when we think about the goals and intentions we want to set for ourselves, whether they be work, personal, relationship wise, all of that stuff only can be grounded in your heart center, in your feelings. Otherwise, they're not attached to anything except a thought, and a thought can be changed like that, which is great when we're talking about mindset. But when we're talking about where we're going to ground our goals and stuff, that certainty, which is, that certainty emotion that's converted into the thought of certainty, happens in the heart center first. And so the full moon is all about releasing this idea of, I have to know exactly what I'm doing because we're in Capricorn. So that's a driving, like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. Let's go. Let's hike up the hill and get the shit done. And the thing is that that's at odds with these retrogrades, which are inviting you. Okay, so how can I get the shit done on the inside? And then that full moon is giving you that lovely cradle to be on the inside and really feel into it. And since there's going to be a little bit of a Chiron trigger there too, which is your wounded healer, your individual wound that you're constantly kind of navigating and dealing with, and it's going to poke you on that full moon. But don't worry, it's not going to poke you where you're going to be like, unless you want to. If you want to sit in your shit, that's all about you. That's all you. But if you want to, rather look at it and say, okay, I'm going to look for the signs and look for the signs of new tools and new approaches to healing this wound. That's from my childhood, possibly from past life, that's reoccurring and popping up, that keeps you stuck from moving, which again is a retrograde thing. So it's this laying the background, the Bob Ross painting, laying all these backgrounds with all these little lovely little trees of guideposts of how to heal that wound. Okay, so that's the energy of this week. So it's going to progressively build until we get to that full moon on Friday. And that will give us some space to have a release, have gratitude for the harvest of all the stuff. And we are still, we're not into that Lunar New Year yet. And so understanding that that full moon is really still about 2022. What am I grateful for? Because a lot of people are like, fuck that year, it was so sucky, blah, blah, blah. But I can guarantee you, if I sat you down and kept asking you, what are you grateful for from last year? That would be a list. So that's what I'm thinking the full moon list needs to be. What was I grateful for from 2020? What did it bring me? Even if it was more resilience, more bravery, more of an understanding of who I really am and what I really want, because coming in this next year, that's going to be really important too. It's all about Who am I and what do I want? Not what does my mom or my dad or my Aunt Tilly want for me because they have their own stuff going on. What do I want? Without the well-meaning or maybe not so many opinions in my head, that itty bitty shitty committee, letting that all go and really tuning into you. And so that full moon is that kind of shift energy, in my opinion. So, with all of that said, I want to kind of bring in, because there is a lot of like, we got to learn to let go, be grateful, let go of what the feeling, because that's what it is, Cancer, full moon, feeling of, and all this retrograde is internal. So, feeling, right, of not having. That's what we're letting go of. We're letting go of the absence because we have an idea of absence, which is lack, regarding whatever it is we're wanting. These goals we've written down, we've all done our intentions. Maybe you have your word. Maybe you don't have your word. That's okay. It took me till yesterday and it was hilarious because me and one of my girlfriends were talking on, texting or whatever. And like yesterday morning, I got my word. And as soon as I was downstairs making pancakes, I get a text message from her and she's like, I got my word. It was the same freaking word, y'all. And it might be, you might find all of us, because we are going into the Aquarian age, are going to have our word be very similar to each other's because it's a community effort on an individual level. So, with all of that, that's a lot. It's a lot, my darlings. A lot. Synergistically is my word. That's a big ass SAT word, Margaret. Synergistically. I love that. It's like confluence and all the things working together, right? Is that what that is for you? What does that mean for you, synergistically? I think that is such a lovely word. Anyway, so I would love to pull some cards for the collective. So what we're going to do is pull 3 cards, and this we do every week. So if you're new, it's the first one of the year. So if you're new, right now I'm using this deck. I'm actually, I have not had time to make friends with my brand new deck, and maybe I'll do a video. It's called Sacred Forest. I do have another deck, but this one is the one that's calling to me first. That's brand new. So I may do an unboxing of this later because I like this one. It feels really good, and I might start using that one later because it is like, just feels really good and naturey. Anyways, but we're going to use the animals today. And so what I usually do, just so you guys are, if you're new, I give like an energy forecast, the weather forecast that I am aware of. Again, I am not somebody that proclaims to do astrology or whatever. I pay attention to what's going on and then I feel into, through being a conscious channel. And like this morning, I pretty much like just jotted down taking dictation from source. And I share that information with you guys. And then based on that information, because it's like, hey, here's what's happening. And then we get, and then I use another tool. These are cards are tools. The power is not the cards. The power is the channel. So, but I love the cards because they're so pretty and they're fun. And it's a little bit of a change of pace to just the journaled, channeled journaling. So what I want to do is pull some cards around what do we need to support ourselves with this inner deep dive that that we are kind of going through this week. And the full moon energy to work with. I'll probably talk, since this is on Friday, I want to make sure I bring this up right now because I do feel like, I think it's on my phone. I have my moon calendar so that I can tell you when the energy is, so you can do your ritual and you don't feel like you're having to do your ritual like right smack when it's supposed to be, like the minute. So let's see. We got, where is the full moon? Full moon. Oh, you get 5 days. That's awesome. So full moon hits Friday, January 6th at 5:07 p.m. Central Time. So you figure out what that is for you because I live in Central Time. And that goes through till Tuesday the 10th at 8:30 p.m. or 8:28 Central Time. So you can do your full moon ritual anytime in there. Okay. So like, if you're like, you're getting home from work and you're like, you know what, I am effing tired and I don't want to do my full moon. I'll just go sit under it if it's warm enough to sit outside, or sit in a window where you can see it and just sit under it, and I'll do my ritual later. Maybe I'll just ponder while I'm sitting under the moon and then I'll figure it out. Okay. So be in that space, but no, you have till Tuesday around 8:30-ish to get your shit together and do your ritual if that's what your jam is. Hey, Rumi, how are you? You need to write down your readings. Yes, whenever you pull cards for yourself, I highly encourage journaling with your cards. You can either get, there's like, I think I saw on Facebook in the ad section, because if I'm shopping for woo woo shit, they always like put the ads because they follow you all over the internet. And I have this one, which I'm not sure. I love the concept, but the font is like wicked small, and I have over 40 eyes. So that may not be super awesome. But anyways, I do love this journal for the magic of I. That's the website. And I, not eyeball, but I like me, I. So magicofI.com, you can get one of these. And or I have a passion planner, which is under a pile of things. This is for my daily stuff. This is more like personal stuff, but I use it for work too, because I feel like my life and my work are the same thing. But anyways, yes, writing down your readings for yourself are always a good idea. And the thing is, sometimes I just do them in a notebook, which I have several of laying around here, just because whatever I can grab. But if it's like for me personally, I usually do them in the journals, because then you can see what day they came in, what was going on, all of that kind of stuff. And you can find all that stuff on the internet. The Passion Planner has a website. Magical Buy has a website. Anyways, so find the stuff and make sure, write down your stuff. And happy birthday to all the Aquarians coming up and the Capricorns that are coming up. So let's pull some cards. So we're going to see what do we need to have to support it? What medicine will support us best in this energy? Okay, so I'm just going to pull some cards. Okay, so here's so funny. I'm Capricorn. Yes, we got Caps and Aquarians. Woohoo! Because it's that time of year, my darlings. Let's see. See, when I do private readings, I do it like this, where I see the card and the person doesn't see it right away. They're like, "Oh my God, what is wrong with you?" Because I'm making faces and noises, and they get all, and people get all like, "What is going on?" I'm like, "Oh, just wait, it'll be great." I mean, I wouldn't be oohing and ahhing if I had a problem. You wouldn't see a smile, so you're good. Let's see this one. Okay, so here's some really great stuff. So we got 2 upside downs that are your helpers, and our main medicine for that question of what is the medicine we need to navigate this week of releasing that feeling of absence of getting what we want, or the absence of the ideas, the thinkiness. Because action, whether it be physical moving forward action, Mars, or thinking about the plan moving forward and communicating that plan with ourselves and others, Mercury, those are all retrograde. So all that stuff is facing inward. So it can't be outside, and it's frustrating. And we have a tendency as people to focus on the absence of that which we want, which would be the action and how we're going to take action. So what are we going to do when we face it inward? And how are we going to release it and see the abundance of time and invitation to go inward and do that deep dive in the next 2 or 3 weeks. And your first card, I love this. The magic works through you. And the only way to get that magic. And so like I have if you've, 5 years ago or 6 years ago when I first started, I wrote a book called 7 Steps to Manifesting Your Dream Life, which you can get on Amazon, shameless plug. But in the last 2 years, I've kind of looked at that as more 7 elements for your spiritual journey, because it's all the same. Yes, you can apply it specifically the way that I write about it in the book, which is towards manifesting, but you're always manifesting. So if we look at it from the perspective of the first element versus step, the first element is getting centered. And in doing part of that is really knowing that the magic works through you. And the only way to get in touch with that magic is to go inward, to get to know who you are, to get to know what you want, to want to know how you want to show up in the world, not how everyone wants you to show up, not what your parents or your boss or your partner or whoever, your siblings, cousins, whatnot, your dog wants you to show up. How do you want to show up? What do you want to do in this world? What is that passion? You need to know from you. because the remembering that the magic flows through you means I need to go inward. How do I go inward? I meditate. I get grounded. I wander around in nature, which I know those of you that might be still kind of like, but everyone will think I am weird. Like, hello, I'm here reading cards. If people don't think we're weird already, girl, please. So the thing is, remembering that the magic flows through you, not through your card deck, not through your crystals, through you. They all have energy, but the magic is in you and how you get to utilize your intention, your power of choice, which is your magic power, to direct the energy of the tools. A hammer doesn't build a house on its own, but it does have energy, doesn't it? And the hammer's energy is directed by the builder, by the creator. You are an extension of source energy, creator energy, God energy. You are unto yourself a creator. That is the magic within you. But to get in touch with that so that we're not focused on this 3D shit, because that's not where the power lies. It's limiting, it's very small. Energy is vast. And that energy, that magic within you, you have to tap into it. And the way you do it is get quiet and go inside. And that's what these weeks during retrograde are invitations to, and full moons. So that's why this week was so great that it's the magic. That's a great reminder now. Medicine for that. And this is so perfect because a lot of times when we get in these retrograde moments where it's like, oh, I can't move. It's Mars retrograde and I want to do so much stuff, but I can't get anywhere. Every time my computer gets a rainbow circle or got poi poi, no. But or I'm trying to book stuff, but my scheduling software won't work, or I'm trying to write this thing and no inspiration is coming because Mars is retrograde. I can't take action. I have ideas, but I can't. And then you have Mercury retrograde, which is I don't know how to do that. And it can be really very frustrating because we think there is all this wasted time. But let me tell you something. Vulture comes in upside down, which is I forgot. I didn't know that. And I forgot, I forgot I knew that. I really didn't know that, or I don't wanna. And this is the strongest feeling is this is an I forgot. Nothing is ever wasted. So this time right now, this retrograde time that you have to ponder all of these things, if we can hit a pause button on the whole, I don't have any action or I can't take action resistance and focusing on absence, or I don't know what to do. There's too many things. I'm overwhelmed. Resistance, 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 trying to focus on, what I don't have, absence of what I want. Okay. And instead, flip that around, take a breath, flip that around and say, what do I have? What do I have? I have an abundance of time to really hash through these ideas that keep coming. What is this really going to look like for me? What do I want it to look like? What do I want to feel it? And maybe I'm going to drop down into my heart center and journal about what does all this feel like to me? Not what does it look like? What do I want it to, what do I think it should be? What do I want it to feel like? What do I want to feel like when I'm doing this? Whether it's a new job, a new house, a new relationship, or a revitalization of any of those things, or yourself. What do I want that to look like? Because this time is not wasted unless you choose to make it so. Okay? Nothing is wasted. And then lastly, one of the backup things for that too is look at it not so much like a lot of times we think in January, I'm going to make this big plan for this whole year. This whole year. And I want to remind you, if we didn't learn anything from the last 3 years, it's that we can make plans and within a week or 24 hours, they're going to change. They might have, and what I said in both the last reading we did here for the last of last year and talking about January in general and this whole year coming is yes, you will have a macro overarching plan, but how you think you're going to get there is going to shift about 4 million times before you do. So being playful, curious, and flexible and flowy is going to be the name of the game. So we have Sandpiper upside down, which is the Be Playful card. Now, not only is there that stuff, but when you're thinking about these plans that you're feeling into and your head starts to take over, because we're human, that's kind of how we roll. We're like, oh, that feels so good. How am I going to get there? How am I going to get there? I really am worried about this now because I don't. And then this kind of gets the wiring kind of gets kind of, ugh. So stay in your heart center. Don't start thinking about the how, and don't start trying to put it in this container of I have to get it done in this fiscal quarter, or I have to get it done this month, or for the next year I'm going to do X, Y, and Z, because tomorrow things may change for you and you may need to modify how you do that. So here's what I do, and I'll share what I do, and whether it's my business or my life, if I want to do something new, like one of my girlfriends and I decided we're gonna accountability buddy with each other and go walking at least twice a week. Now, we could sit here and say for the rest of the year, Monday and Wednesday, this is when we're going. And by God, but we'll be like the post office, come snow, sleet, or hail, we're going walking. But the fact is, life happens. Okay. And so what we agreed to more was Mondays and Wednesdays at 4 p.m. That's our plan, you know, but sometimes life happens. Kids, dogs, parents, spouses, friends, family, whatever happens. And so we have our backup plan, which is Tuesdays and Thursdays. So honestly, yes, it's on my calendar for this day, but and today might turn into tomorrow. I don't know. But the fact is, I wanted to create an overarching plan that I want more movement for this body in my life. And we're going to make a plan, but we're also going to work in some flexibility and playfulness. And playfulness to me, it took me a very long time to understand what being playful meant. Because a lot of times people say, be playful, and you have this idea of making mud pies, as a kid or something. And you're like, how the hell do I translate that when I'm an adult? So here's the way I look at being playful, which might be helpful to you. I call it experimenting. Okay. You don't write in gospel for the next 17 years. I'm going to go walking with my friend this many times a week on these days at this time. Because the fact is that you may not be walking on those days at this time. And you may after a couple weeks realize, oh, this ain't working for me. I need to do yoga, not walking. Or I need a little bit more So maybe we need to jog, or maybe we need to work towards something because, whatever. But when you incorporate the playfulness or the experimentation and you say, okay, for the month of January, I'm going to do this, it really kind of encapsulates your goal for a 30-day thing. So you don't feel like you're going to let yourself down if you kind of miss one thing. So if we can work on it from an experimental viewpoint, being playful, being experimental, that's where we're going to find the support we need within ourselves. So this week's message is, there's a lot of stuff happening in the sky, but remember, it's all an internal kind of get into your feels, go deep dive, especially as we build up starting Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you'll start feeling that build if you're not already feeling it. But as you go through that all the way into, what was it? Tuesday, I think, is when the energy kind of wanes and goes into another shift. Remember, the magic works through you. So being in that internal space is really going to be helpful for the next 3 weeks, especially the intensity of what's coming this week. Not bad intensity, just lots of feelings, probably because it's a Cancer moon. People get a little weepy on Cancer moons because Cancers kind of are weepy folks. Not bad, just very in their feels. And that's totally okay. But when we're in a Cancer moon and it's full and you got all this other stuff going on, we might be in our feels, whether it be about our wound or about where we want to go and we're a little frustrated. It's okay to be a little weepy. Just let it out because your full moon's giving you that permission to release. And doing so with that idea of I'm working magic within myself. And then remember, nothing is wasted. So this is not wasted time between now and the 21st, where a new moon, where we kind of launch. Not wasted time. Use this time. Be okay with, give yourself permission that not everything happens out here. Lots of stuff happens in here, and that's what this time is for. And be experimental, be playful with it so that you don't feel like you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself. Be more experimental. It might, and you don't even have to do a month like I do. You could do a week. You could do 24 hours. Like today, I want to go walking today to see how that feels for me. And then make a decision when you're done. Is it something I want to do tomorrow? Felt good. Gonna go walking again tomorrow. Or maybe tomorrow I'll experiment and do yoga. Or I love Body Groove if you haven't heard of that. It's a really great, it's on demand and it's like kind of aerobic dancing, but like they don't make you stand in a line with other people. You just they kind of are like, here's the moves, you do it, just keep moving and listen to the music. And whatever you do is correct. That's why I like it because like Darren jokes that I have the grace of a chicken. So it's great for me because I'm not that coordinated. But you know, whatever works for you, be playful, see what works for you, and see, like, because that feeling into all this stuff is going to help navigate as we move through this. Okay. Oh, thank you for the fire. Thank you, Margaret. Okay, so real quick, that's our encapsulated reading for the collective today. Real quick, if you are interested in that workshop, go ahead and sign up. It's $20, 23 cents energetic exchange to do that. And I encourage those who do register to go ahead and um, do the workbook before the class so that you have all your stuff and we can do Q&A and coaching and intuitive guidance there. And then I'm starting to open my calendar for readings and coaching. I have 3 spots opening in my 6-month co-creative coaching. That are, if you want to do that, curiosity calls are able to be booked, I think, opening right now. So like you can go and look in the calendar for those. If you want to work together on a 6-month basis, that's just a private deep dive intensive to really get to reconnecting with yourself and moving in the direction of where you want to go, or even figuring out what that is. And it doesn't have to be a thing where we're like, I'm going to manifest all this money. Because if you've known me this long, it's about spiritual journey. You're always manifesting. It's just aligning your energy with that which feels good for you. And that's what that coaching is about. And I'm reopening readings. So that's another thing that I will probably bring forward in the next, probably after Lunar New Year, just because that's kind of when I feel like the energy is going to open up a little bit more, but I will be talking about all this stuff. So we'll go ahead and do our class on the 14th. I hope to see you there. And other than that, I will see you next Monday. I might pop by sometime this week and I have to get my nails done because they from far away, they look good, but up close, they're like, ooh, a troll chewed on this in the night. Before I do close up and unboxing my new deck of cards. But anyways, other than that, I love you guys so much. Thank you for being here. Again, if you are watching the replay, just hashtag replay with any comments or questions you want to have. And then, and I'll come back and be like, love you so much. So that's it. Happy New Year. Don't push yourself too hard right now. Just be focused on your internal work for the next couple of weeks. And I'm here as you need. I love you guys so much. I'll see you on all the medias. And see you later. Bye, y'all. I can get to the button. Okay, bye now.